All right, so we're trying something very different. I'm in my editing studio, Adobe Premiere, and I'm watching a video of myself probably about 2 hours ago, flipping through the first of two binders of baseball cards. Actually, the second binder is not only baseball cards, there's like football, basketball, hockey. There might even be some random other cards. And I don't really know how that second binder that's coming, the blue one later. Right now we're looking through a black binder. I don't know how that blue one came to be organized the way that it is. There's also pages that don't have cards in some of the slots. But the binder we're looking at right here is baseball cards that when I was maybe between the ages of like 9 and 10 and also 12, 13, like that pocket of time there. I must have either purchased blaster boxes at like Target or Walmart, maybe even Toys R Us. That was a place that I definitely went to a lot back in the day. But I have accumulated these cards over the course of those several years, and I think that's pretty much it for this binder. Like, there's not anything that really stands out other than how well organized this one was compared to the blue one. There's still some cards missing because I a few months ago went and kind of pulled the ones that could be worth more. So I've already done that flipping through of both of these binders. There was one card in the blue binder that's coming later. Is a Jeff Bagwell numbered to 5,000 card. So that's coming up later. But I thought that was one interesting one that I hadn't pulled. I hadn't even noticed that it was numbered before. But organized this binder, as I could have told in the first few seconds of the video, and you saw the cover and the thumbnail, that I actually put by division every MLB team's logo as a sticker on the front. And there were parts of this binder that I wanted to keep it not necessarily based on team, but by position. So I believe I was able to stick to that. And now we're getting to outfielders. I don't think it's the 100% of the binder because there's also been sleeves that have been pulled from other binders and combined here. But I really just wanted to look at some of these cards. If there are certain players from back in the day, if you're watching this, that really do stand out. I mean, if any of these players triggers a memory, or any of these cards kind of bring you back to a very specific season as a fan, right? For me as a Red Sox fan, which I know it's tough to be a Red Sox fan these days, but definitely seen our success, and I'm very lucky that I have been used to that since I was 9 years old when they won in '04. So anytime I see a Red Sox card in any binder, if it's something that I own or another person's Red Sox card, I follow different Facebook groups. If something pops up that's like Pedro Martinez, I really get excited. And there's even these cards here at the end where it's the full team photos. I don't have I don't manage I haven't managed to collect all 30 MLB teams photos from this set, but I imagine that'd be pretty cheap to actually go ahead and do. But these Barry Bonds cards, I think, are actually like pretty cool. Pretty cool design. Is there the whole steroids thing? Yeah, but honestly, you really do just need to chalk it up to a whole different era. But across the board, granted, there are players like Ken Griffey Jr. who never used, and they still performed amazingly. And that's why, personally, Ken Griffey Jr. is my all-time favorite baseball player. He really did embody like playing as hard as you possibly could on defense, and he was at a primary position out in center field. Amazing hitter. He played with his dad as well. They hit back-to-back homers once, and that's amazing. And that actually, interestingly enough, I wish I could say I scripted this transition, but talking about Ken Griffey Sr., which I know there was a card in this binder, if not the blue one, where Ken Griffey Sr., his card, it was like top right of one of these sleeves. If you're still listening and you can identify what timestamp that card popped up, let me know. That'd be fun. But my dad is someone that I kind of just came up really admiring and fearing at times, but respecting. And just over my adulthood, learning about how his own creative endeavors and the way his mind works is like more similar to mine than I'd ever thought. And even down to the cards that he collected and the overall mentality of a collector, and like really what he saw in the sports that he was watching too. It was like kind of a pretty mind-blowing moment to see that like we're both connected in that way through these cards. And I mean, maybe at that point we're getting a little too cheesy, a little too corny. But what's very real, not corny at all, is I'm becoming a dad. And that's also been some fuel to this very pleasant fire. If that is even, that's probably not a palindrome. What is it? Like a jumbo shrimp. Oh man, I'm forgetting the mnemonic device, the name of whatever the fuck that is. Anyways, all of a sudden I get here, we're over 5 minutes in, and we're looking at, the amazing AV8B Harrier. We're looking at like World War 12 cards. Not really. I know it's like Gulf War era, but football cards. Honestly, football of all of the sports is one I'm like the least interested in. Hockey cards, I don't have a lot of them. I'm very intrigued by the sport because I did used to watch for a little bit, but there's just something about like feeling like these guys really don't care about what a lot of Americanized sports athletes care about, which is like getting your personal brand across, being like a entertainer. And NHL athletes, they really just care about playing well, winning, and making money. Like they don't really want to be, all about pomp and circumstance like some NBA, like a lot of NBA players, and in other sports. I'm not sure what this signing was. I got like a random Declaration of Independence card. Looks like if you get the whole set, you can maybe spell out or piece out like a puzzle, like the Declaration. I have no idea. There's some old names coming up. These old yellow cards, like those are really old. Probably some of the oldest in the whole book. We just landed on that card I talked about earlier, the Jeff Bagwell, numbered to 5,000. So, that's going to be one that I'll have to go and pull later and maybe see some comps, or if it even would be worth that. If you have any interest in this card and you're still somehow watching and listening to me, please do let me know. And we can maybe find a way to make that happen. And with that too, I know like if you are also still listening at this point, there's a good chance you could find some interest in checking out my eBay shop. I don't have that many cards up right now, but my goal for 2025 to start the year is to really list way, 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 way more than what I have now. I have like probably only a fraction of 1% of what I own listed. And I really want to put everything out here and in ways where, I'm not looking to make profit off of most of these. Honestly, I'm not. If I were, that would be a pretty poor, like the amount of money that I put over the years into buying all these cards, it would be stupid for me to think that I'm going to list them all individually, or even in sets, or grouped by player. I'm not going to make profit. I'm going to sell whatever I can get for them. And if it finds the right person, like if there's someone out there that really feels invested in, Curt Schilling, it's like 91 tops. I don't even know. It's from the Houston Astros days. If someone cares about Curt Schilling enough and they wanted that card, I would literally take any reasonable offer. It's not 0 cents. Like, so there is that to consider when you go and check out the eBay store. You can find that in the link. It's attached to my channel description. But thank you for watching and listening to me ramble, and I'll talk to you next time.